Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Route X Lap Attack. In this episode, we will be testing another Subaru that I got for free. It is a 1998 Impreza. We had a 1999 Impreza tested in one of the earlier episodes, but there are some differences. One is that this version that I'm testing, it has 2 doors instead of 4, and the second is that although it is painted in New York Central colors, the lightning stripes are different. I was hoping to show you, but it looks like the loading did not go the way I anticipated. But you should still be able to see once we get to the leaderboard. There it is. On the other Impreza, I wanted to try a different version of the stripes where they normally aren't in the actual version, but this one I made it more accurate. And instead of New York Central, it actually says Subaru. I'm thinking of doing another New York Central paint job for one of the Subarus in Need for Speed Heat, but I'm going to be going for the cigar band instead of lightning stripes. Heat's actually pretty good. I showed one of my friends a Buick I did in Pennsylvania Railroad's Tuscan Red, and he was very happy about that. When I compare cars with railroads, I have New York Central Subaru because my aunt used to have a 1997 Forester, and she lived very close to the Peekskill station, which used to belong to New York Central, but now it is owned by Metro North. And it's actually also part of Amtrak's Empire service, the Empire Corridor. But I'm not sure if any Amtrak trains stop there. Feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Meantime, we're gonna go up this hill. The transmission is set to 230 miles per hour, but we're not gonna be able to go that fast. I tested this car earlier on this track a couple times. We are going to be getting a top speed of 210 most likely. We did 209 before going up the hill. Now we've slowed down to 204. I've mentioned this earlier in a couple of episodes. Sometimes it's better to have your transmission set to a higher top speed rather than slower. Like, let's say you hit 210 and the transmission's set to 230, and then you decide to set it to like 211. Your car's not going to be able to go that fast. It's still going to make it go slower. Like, the top speed then will probably be like 197 miles per hour. You really want to keep a close eye on those stats too. You don't want to set the transmission to a ridiculous top speed. Just make it more, reasonable. Looking at the mileage I've done for this car, 49. I'm gonna go over 50 pretty soon. By the time we get to the end of this curve, we're probably going to be at 52 miles. And if you guys can't see the mileage, it is actually right below the fuel gauge on the bottom left corner of the screen. If you still can't see it, then you're screwed. One other thing I really like about this Subaru, most of them, they have the blue logo, but the oval on this one is red. I was thinking of changing it to blue, but I thought, you know what? Let's keep it red. Because, New York Central. They had the front oval logo red as well. It was a darker shade than this one, but I like it just the way it is. The question is, when I do the cigar band livery for one of those Subarus in Need for Speed Heat, how am I going to put the oval on the front? Because if you look at that paint scheme, you'll see that there is a oval in the front where it says New York Central. It's going to be complicated to pull off with all this stuff here. The grille, the headlights. Maybe we just put it on the hood. There's also a rectangle that goes through the middle of the oval. I'm thinking of putting Subaru there instead of New York Central. That would look really cool. My friend that liked my Penzi Buick, he probably won't be happy about that. In case you're wondering who this guy is, it's actually Thunderbolt 1000 Siren Productions. Never met the guy in person, but we've been very good friends since we first met on YouTube. I think that's been for about 2 years now. And if you look at some of my older episodes from the Bad Quality Adventures of Thomas and Friends, episodes 63 and 67, he voices a couple of characters for me in there as well. In fact, for episode 63, I feel like I got all those likes in there. I got like 12 in total, just for having Thunderbolt as a special guest. He's a very popular guy, and if you get the pleasure of meeting him, you won't be disappointed. I just wish I could do the same thing. I remember on April 1st, I went to Abrams' yard. I was hoping to prank him. I was like, "Hi, do any of these trains go to Colorado?" And I don't know how to react to that, but I bet he would have found it amusing. Our lap time should be around the 5.5-minute mark. I'm afraid that won't be fast enough to get us into the top 10. But for a car like this is actually a very good run. Subarus, you know they're not going to be the fastest, but they're still enjoyable to drive. Just ask my aunt, she used to have one. Along with another aunt of mine. She actually got rid of hers when she moved out of upstate New York. I can't remember exactly where. I think it was Buchanan. Now she lives in Red Bank. So 5 minutes and 24 seconds. Let's head up to the leaderboard and see where our car ended up. We got third place for the N500 section. That is behind the other Impreza, which is behind the Countach. So here we are. We are in 14th place behind the other Impreza that we tested before the Porsche, which is right here. And the Impreza is actually also behind the 2014 version of the WRX. I'm not sure why they don't call that the Impreza, but hey, this Subaru block is looking really nice. The next car we're going to be testing will be the 1967 Chevrolet Nova. See you then.